Angel Davis expected the perfect Christian marriage with husband Lee, but when he didn't measure up to all her expectations and wouldn't put up with her trying to change him, she began fantasizing a way out.
Because I'm a Christian, I didn't think divorce was an option. So I felt stuck and trapped. And I even thought about him dying because I felt like that was the only way out. That's how dark my heart had gotten.
That was probably the thing that hurt me the most.
Lee believes Angel should never have been depending on him for things humans just can't deliver at the deepest level.
Your spouse can't make you happy. And if you are waiting for that, you're probably going to be waiting forever.
This Christian psychotherapist says she even began to listen to Satan's twisted logic for why her marriage should end.
I got to the point where I thought if I left my husband, I could do more for the Lord.
But then a friend brought Angel to a life-changing moment.
She looked me in the eye and she said, Angel, where in the Bible does it say you can do this for the reason you want to do this? And I knew the word. And so it was like cold water in my face.
That's when she truly surrendered her marriage and herself to God, and he began planting in her heart the principles of how one spouse can save a troubled marriage and change their husband or wife the right way.
What therapist Angel Davis has shown hundreds of people here in her office, and now in her book, The Perfecting Storm, is the secret to changing your spouse for the better. Rest in changing you first.
Angel witnessed a radical example of this when her friends Ron and Carrie were tottering on the edge of divorce after Carrie found out Ron was having an affair and didn't really want to change. But Carrie, though bitterly hurt and not wanting to forgive Ron, put herself before God and heard him tell her this about Ron.
I was to take him back, and we were to forge a path of reconciliation.
Ron's sexual sins had cost him his job and his home, and he was expecting to lose his family. But then Carrie told him what she'd heard from God and that she was going to grit her teeth and obey.
For her to be obedient to that, despite the fact that she was undergoing so much pain and so much hurt, all I could do was, in all honesty, I lost it. I mean, I just broke down and sobbed in front of her.
He's extremely grateful because he knows that I basically gave him a gift that he did not deserve.
Carrie's willingness to bend and change led Ron to wanting to bend and change too. It's been several years since Ron's affair and Carrie's taking him back, and now they say their 29-year marriage is better than ever.
When you put aside your feelings and put aside your arguments and say, you know what, I'm going to obey God like she did, radical things happen.
It is possible for your marriage to be restored. It is possible to fall in love with your husband once again.
Meanwhile, Angel was practicing the same things Carrie had done when Ron and Carrie's marriage seemed doomed, like letting God change her rather than insisting husband Lee change, like receiving inner healing that she says most of us need, like beginning to show Lee real respect because God said to.
And guess what? He started acting in ways that I had longed for him to act all those years.
All this takes learning to hear God's voice and obey his marching orders.
It just gives certainty, gives security, gives direction, and he's talking all the time, and we're hardwired to hear his voice, but we got to figure out how to hear it. He is the still small voice, and he speaks in many different ways.
God taught her real enemy wasn't Lee, but the devil who wants to kill and destroy marriages.
I had been looking at my husband as the enemy, and it was like God took that veil off, and I saw I'm fighting the wrong battle.
As Angel's been teaching and sharing these principles around her Athens, Georgia area and through the Perfecting Storm, others have seen their marriages profit, like Clay and Debbie Huckabee.
I finally stopped spending so much time worrying about what Clay was doing, and I started working on my own self and get my own act together.
I don't think it's ever been better, and I feel like that's largely due to her, but because we've gotten to where we enjoy working at it.
Friend Leslie McCullough is so enthusiastic about the Perfecting Storm, she and her husband have been selling it at their place, Brett's Restaurant. Angel had to keep interrupting her lunch with us there to sign copies. She's just not an excited author, though. She believes with all her heart in what she's written because she's seen it radically affect her own marriage and so many of those around her.
If you'll break before God and learn to listen to his voice, Angel guarantees he'll give you his divine guidance and his plans to make your marriage work. Then you really will have a marriage made in heaven. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from Athens, Georgia.